In a noisy world, power is not in who shouts the loudest. Power is in who replies with calm authority. On the world stage, leaders argue, alliances shift, and conflicts continue. But amidst all of this, one voice stands apart: India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar. Today his updates span Ukraine, Germany, Singapore, and beyond. Over the next 6 to 7 minutes, we'll decode his words, his diplomacy, and his replies. Each statement is not just news, it's a masterclass in how to reply like a pro. Segment 1. Ukraine's request for India's voice. Ukraine's foreign minister said it clearly: "We rely on India's authoritative voice." That sentence carries weight. In a war zone, in a world divided, Ukraine looks at India, not just as another country, but as a balancing power. Jaishankar's reply was calm, steady, and consistent. He didn't take sides. He reinforced India's stance. This war needs dialogue, not weapons, de-escalation, not escalation. No loud promises, no exaggerated claims, just authority. That is Jaishankar's style. Decoded. Authority is built not by volume, but by consistency. India is seen as neutral, but not silent, firm, but not biased. Decoded lesson. When two sides fight and both seek your voice, you reply with balance, not emotion. Question for viewers: should India step in more actively as a mediator in the Ukraine war? Or should it remain the neutral voice trusted by both sides? Segment 2. Germany's trade ambition. Germany proposed doubling bilateral trade with India. That is huge. But Jaishankar's reply was one word: reciprocate. He didn't jump with excitement. He didn't look like India was begging for trade. He reminded Germany that partnerships are two-way. Trade isn't charity, it's balance. That word, reciprocate, changes the entire tone. Decoded. India is not positioning itself as a receiver, but as an equal partner. This builds respect in negotiations. Decoded lesson. When given a big opportunity, don't just accept. Reply in a way that places you as equal. Question for viewers: do you think Europe truly sees India as equal? Or are they still treating India as a market to use? Segment 3. Singapore strengthening Asian bonds. Jaishankar's talks with Singapore's Prime Minister focused on digital economy, maritime security, and ASEAN cooperation. Notice his tone: not desperate for partnership, but steady and reliable. He positions India as the friend you can depend on, not the friend who runs behind you. That's diplomacy built on reliability. Decoded. India's partnerships in Asia are about trust, not dependency. Reliability is India's strongest currency. Decoded lesson. The one who replies consistently becomes indispensable. Question for viewers: will ASEAN become India's closest partner in Asia? Or will Japan and the US remain stronger allies? Segment 4. Reply to the West on Russia. At the UN, Jaishankar faced a sharp question: is India siding with Russia? His reply was surgical. Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems. No shouting, no defensiveness. Just one line that shut the debate. That's reply like a pro when challenged. Don't argue emotionally. Just cut with a fact that reframes the conversation. Decoded. India is not defensive about Russia. India is confident enough to tell Europe, your crisis is not global destiny. Decoded lesson. A short, sharp reply can silence a long, emotional attack. Question for viewers: do you think Jaishankar's blunt style strengthens India's image or risks alienating Europe? Segment 5. Economic independence. Despite Western criticism, India continues oil trade with Russia, invests with the US, and grows ties with Europe. Jaishankar's message: we make our own choices. It's not arrogance, it's independence. Economic diplomacy today is not about following rules set by others. It's about creating your own. Decoded. Independence means more options, more leverage. India is shaping its path, not copying others. Decoded lesson. Never be trapped into choosing from others' menus. Create your own choices. Question for viewers: should India prioritize profit in trade or principle in global politics? Segment 6. Strategic balance. Critics call India a fence-sitter, but Jaishankar reframes it: India chooses India. Maintaining ties with the US, Russia and Europe isn't weakness, it's autonomy. Balance is not about indecision. Balance is about independence. Decoded. Balance shows strength when it is deliberate, not accidental. Decoded lesson. Autonomy is leadership. Question for viewers. Is India's refusal to pick sides the reason it is respected today? Segment 7. India's global voice. From Ukraine to Singapore, from Berlin to New York, leaders now wait for India's reply. That is the Jaishankar effect. When you reply with clarity, others pause. When you reply with authority, others listen. Decoded. India has shifted from being a listener to being the voice others wait for. Decoded lesson. The strongest position is when others wait for your words. Question for viewers. Has India already become the voice of the global South? Or is that title still far away? Closing. On the 5th of September 2025, Jaishankar didn't just give updates. He gave lessons in diplomacy. He replied without noise, but with clarity. He showed India is not just a participant. It is a player shaping the game. And that, my friends, is the meaning of reply like a pro: calm, firm, authoritative. Now the final question I leave for you. Do you believe India's voice under Jaishankar is at its strongest in history, or is the best yet to come?